And the Bad Seeds are far more far more concerned with exploring musical avenues.
You come across as a very solitary character, almost sort of single-mindedly pursuing your own obsessions. Would you say you're single-minded?
Well, I don't know about that, but I think I work best and I'm at my happiest when I'm working. And I tend to get most out of things when I've done it by myself or that I'm working by myself. I think I tend to use, quite possibly, I use a lot of my kind of solo pursuits as kind of, yeah, just as escapes from the more kind of mundane things in life. So I tend to avoid those sorts of things.
You've been playing live again recently, so what do you enjoy so much about it? Do you like being admired by people when you're on stage?
No, not really, actually. I mean, I don't... I mean, I drew a lot more out of this tour than I have on previous tours, and the whole thing seemed a lot more concentrated, and where before it was... I had no control over which way a concert would go. We would just sort of blunder onto stage, and you know, there was a possibility that it could be a great concert, and there was also the possibility that it could be an absolute disaster. And that was kind of a 50-50 thing, really. On this particular concert, I felt I've had much more control over the situation, and the whole kind of idea of actually going on stage and actually being able to build up a kind of sort of tension and drama and that sort of thing on stage, and have some control over it has made the whole thing a lot more exciting.
A lot of people say that you're misunderstood, especially by the press. But what about your fans? Do you think that a lot of the lyrics go above their heads?
Well, I don't like to think that, really. I mean, I like to think that they're able to understand what I'm singing about, and I also like to think that there's quite a few dimensions to what we do, and there's and that the lyrics that I write work on a lot of different levels. I think that it's a growing thing as well. That you know, probably quite possibly early on, I didn't really understand what I was talking about to a great extent, and it's a kind of growing thing with myself as much as them.
I was talking about King Ink and the writing that you've been doing. I mean, it's not only music that you're involved in, it's films, well, film music, and you've done some acting yourself, and you've been writing. If you had to be sort of hailed as a genius in one area, which one would you choose? I'm
not really comfortable with that word, genius. I don't really understand that word.
You've been described quite a few times as sort of creative genius, though, yourself.
Well, I mean, I've been described as a lot of things, and I've had a lot of labels put on me that I wouldn't care to kind of bandy out, really. And one of them is genius. I mean, I don't really understand what that means.
Well, how would you describe yourself then?
Well, I mean, you know, when I'm on stage, I'm a singer, and when I'm in front of a camera, I'm an actor.
I mean, invariably, people are going to get accolades for certain things they do anyway. So, I mean, you can't be you can't be that modest to say that you're not going to get described as a genius or whatever. So, I mean, how do you think the press see you?
Sorry?
How do you think the press see you then?
I mean, I think they see me in a kind of myriad of different ways. They see me differently each week. You know, the same writer can, you know, I'll be a genius one week to that particular writer, and you know, a fool and a clown the next week. And, you know, I mean, I don't just feel misrepresented by what's, you know, by the bad press that's written about me. It's the good stuff as well. I mean, the stuff that, you know, you're supposed to pin on your bedroom wall and that sort of stuff. Basically, it all just makes me sick, really. You know, equally.
In which niche do you feel most comfortable in? Do you feel most comfortable in films or in books or in music?
I haven't really had enough experience in films. I've only had really one acting role. I mean, I'd like to work more on that. I feel most comfortable writing. because I mean, to write is a solitary kind of thing. It's something that's where you're just dealing with your own feelings, and you're not under the same kind of pressures, and you can draw things at your own pace, and it's not, you know, you're not sort of stuck somewhere. You know, like right now, for example, I'm sort of stuck in a chair, and I have to kind of come up with, you know, some sort of, you know, whatever. And, you know, to write, it's something that's done solitary and you can do at your own pace. And also, I find that a lot of people kind of respect that. I mean, they respect the kind of privacy that you need to write and that sort of thing. And so I can just spend a lot of time by myself.